Hey everybody, this is Tom Hanks. Welcome to a BeamNG stream. We're not even gonna go into automation today. Also, thank you very much and to Hazards Kanjo for following, and welcome to the stream. I hope you're having a good time. I'm just gonna leave this screen up for a little bit longer because the official time hasn't arrived yet. Thank you for following Diesel Ford Galaxy. Is that your daily driver, by the way? Yeah, we're still waiting for a few more minutes, just to have a couple more people join. And hey, Lowlife Max Camber, how's it going? Just gonna wait for a few more people to join, and then we can start. So, if you're just tuning in, if you don't know what this challenge is about, we're going to be driving some 1957 rally cars that I made a community competition. There are going to be 3 races where these cars are going to be going up against each other on different tracks. The first stage is going to be today. It's going to be on the automation outside loop in BeamNG, and then the second day is going to be next Saturday, and the third race is going to be next Sunday. With this being said, I'm gonna start BeamNG. Too young my dad had. Well, okay, ended up selling it a few years ago. Has a Citroen now. I mean, Citroens are fine. Wouldn't probably be my first choice personally, but they're okay. Hey, Gerbil Derp, and thank you for following. Hope you're gonna enjoy your time here. I'm gonna switch over to BeamNG now. Only gonna take a second. For whatever reason, BeamNG always takes quite a few seconds to actually appear with the software on stream, but okay. Before we get started here, already had a few issues with the Citroen, okay. But every time it seems to fix itself. That's the best, but not really something you can usually rely on. Hey, Opus Zafira. How's it going? Thank you for the follow. We're gonna go to the automation test track. We're gonna go to the outside loop, and we are gonna be driving these cars that were submitted for this community competition. We're gonna go in alphabetical order. This is the 1957 R3, and this is, I'm gonna look on my spreadsheet, this is by Genje FT, and it's got 114 horsepower. Thank you, Nesfox, for the follow. Okay, now I have driven all of these cars before. On some cars, for whatever reason, the engine is silent. I don't know if that's just a bug for me personally, or if it's something that is common with other people as well. Like, they're completely silent in BeamNG, some of them. This one is very quiet, but not silent. So I'm actually gonna try and focus here to get the best possible time. By the way, you can get a DNF if the car is too difficult to drive and I cannot finish a run with it. This one feels alright though. Oh, a little bit wide there. I had to slow it down. I went off. Okay, that was my own fault. I'm gonna restart real quick, but we're gonna be alright. That one was on me, that was not the car. How is the quality, by the way? I haven't streamed in so long. I went through a Windows reinstall and a couple of hardware changes in the meantime. A new headset as well. It's good. Okay. Oh, why is the UI for the recording still up there? I gotta get rid of that. Man, I'm really not doing well right here. Let me fix that UI for now though. Get rid of this. Don't need it. Thank you. Let's continue. Isn't that against the spirit of rallying? I think you should try to continue to run even if you spin up. Okay, yeah, I mean, I was thinking about that too. But if I do that, then I suppose other people might argue that, oh, I could get a clean run and then my time would be this, which I also kind of understand, but you gotta consider it's me driving. So I am trying my best, but I never claim to be like the best driver. That was right on the edge right there. As rallying should be, realistically speaking. Uphill on loose ground is where these rear-wheel drive and not really high power cars are gonna struggle the most, of course. Most of my test laps end with a bit of damage on my car anyway. I feel you. It's happened to me as well. I have test driven all of these cars before, by the way. And on this track, off camera, so I know roughly what to expect with each of them. And I can say I can't remember driving one that I thought was bad, so it's gonna be very competitive here, although there is one car that is very, very scary, but potentially very quick. Manual transmission, yeah, but no clutch. Oh my god. Why did I do this? Yeah, I can't reverse here. The wheels just spin. This is the 1957 R3. This one is by BeamNG.drive from Discord. Yeah, that was, and on the one hand I try to keep up with chat, but on the other hand I also should focus on the road, I should focus on driving here. I do have a dual monitor setup, but still my second monitor is a widescreen, like an ultra wide, and so I have to look pretty far over, and it is very nice for like watching YouTube in the evening and stuff like that, but for purposes like this, it's a little inconvenient when you also have to focus on driving a rear-wheel drive car on a loose surface, quickly-ish. Any idea how many there are? There are 11 cars. This is the first one, so it's gonna be a long one. No, but I'm used to these cars. I'm used to this track. Once I get the hang of also managing chat at the same time, and you know, looking over at the right times and not the wrong times, such as, for example, right now would be a wrong time. So if I manage to not look over at the wrong times, then I should be good. One tip from my car: keep it over 3000 RPM. I mean, that's pretty much where every car here performs the best. And you never really want to be below 3000 RPM anyway, because that's just how it is when you're trying to go quickly. Why would you go in low RPM? This one's tight. This is where I lost it last time. This is deceptively not straight, actually. Was there a showcase of cars? No, I skipped that. You will see each car. You will see each car as we drive here. Gotta brake early here because obviously we are on drum brakes and no ABS. As with all these cars, of course. Here you can see on the left side I'm very careful with the throttle. Because we're driving on ice here, literally. So here, this is the part where I gotta focus the most. Because this hairpin and then this upcoming downhill corner is super, super difficult. I'm completely off throttle. Okay, we're good now. Slide. Now we're good. Now we're good. These are a few tight corners coming up here, but we should be good. What I'm also gonna say is that I get the impression, not really on this car, but on a few other cars, that they could have definitely used shorter gearing. That's one of the things I noticed with a few cars. Not this one. Because we're dealing with 1.6 liter engines here, and on most of them not really a lot of power. So short gearing is gonna help out quite a bit. Do brake for this one, because we're not in a fast downforce car. Flat through this, a little bit sideways. But we should be good to get our first lap here. A little bit of understeer, a little bit of oversteer on the way out now, and now we're basically flat until the line. Until the finish line, that is. there's 100 miles an hour. And we have our first reference time, which is a 6:26. Don't like ignore all of these times up here. They were set by much faster cars. Okay, so I'm going to close some things in the background here. Okay. Okay, next car. Oh no, hang on. Next car is going to be the Armor Motors Business Coupe. This is by Armor Motors, and it has 113 horsepower. I don't know. This is something I've never understood about BeamNG. Like when you coupe. Okay, right. Yeah, I was trying to do the sort of American pronunciation there. So yeah. And yeah, while this may only have 113 horsepower, it is also one of the lightest cars in here. That I remember. So this feels very solid and well optimized for these sort of roads. And if it were, if there were any sort of prices for best looking car, then having seen all of them, I think this would be my personal favorite because of the two-tone paint job and also the way the front looks with the nice chrome grille. Gives a good bit of contrast. I like the details as well, like the double side mirror on the driver's side. Up the hill here, this seems to grip better than the last car we saw, for whatever reason. Very good. And if any of you are going like, yo Tom, your driving is better now than with the last car, I can assure you that I was giving it my best shot with the last car as well. It's just that this is easier to drive. Again, brake early with these cars. Now for the real test, how does it handle the ice? Sorry, I'm not gonna look at the chat while I'm driving on ice here. I'm sorry for that, but you gotta have a little bit of whoa, okay, you gotta understand that. So I really have to focus. It did try to get away from me here. Be careful with the braking here, I'm gonna use engine braking. Okay, we're good. Few tight corners coming up. This one seems faster. It feels like that to me as well. But we'll see at the end. Whoa. Okay. Oversteer on the braking, but well balanced, so it was easy to control. What tire is it on? I don't remember. Is Armor Motors here? The creator of this car? Are you in the chat? If so, what's your tire choice? Me personally, I would use sports tires because, well, when I last played a lot of automation in BeamNG, I don't know if this is still the case, but when I last, when I was last into these two games a lot, it was like if you choose sports tires on in automation, then they perform really well on tarmac, but on off-road sections, the off-road tires didn't actually offer an advantage. So I would just use sports tires if that's still the case, because off-road tires used to not give you any benefit here in BeamNG on off-road tracks. I don't know if that's still the case or if they fixed that, but this is cool. Are you going to do a few more challenges? Of course. This is only the first race of the first season of this competition, so wow. Okay. So this was 35 seconds faster than the last car. It absolutely blasted the last car. Oh my god. Okay. We still have 9 more cars to go though. So next up is the BAC Pike Rally, and this is by Gerbilderp. So this car, by the way, is going to have 117 horsepower, and I think it is rear-engined, right? Long gearing? Yep. See, this is why you should use shorter gearing on a car with low torque. Is it just me or is he too quiet? Am I too quiet? Oh, it's front engine. If I'm too quiet, I can fix that on the fly. Okay, give me a moment. Alright, I should be... Oh, hang on, that was the... was the wrong slider. You should be hearing me better now. Okay. Okay. This also drives nicely. And by the way, if you think your car is twitchy, all of them are on gravel, so I'm used to it at this point. Sounds like a Skoda, yeah. To be fair, all inline-4 engines in this challenge are gonna sound pretty much like this. shouldn't have shifted into second there. Again, this is where we're gonna struggle because we're still wheel spinning. And in second gear there is not that much torque because all of these cars of course only have a 1.6. But it is doing reasonably well up here. Thank you Animated Racing for following. A little bit of understeer mid-slide, that's not a good thing. Did slow me down. I just wish I had more torque. Oh, looks like a Skoda. I'm not too familiar with the old Skodas of these sort of years, but trying to be tidy here. It's difficult on the ice. Oh. This drives pretty well though. Very nice and controllable. Eager to turn in. It's pretty agile. Again, all of these cars are gonna be pretty light because that's just what cars were back then. I mean, to think that a regular sort of... Okay, the Volkswagen Golf didn't exist yet in 1957, but just as an example, a relatively normal-sized hatchback like the Volkswagen Golf these days is like 1,500 kilograms. Back then, a coupe like this, or I suppose a four-door sedan that's on the same platform would have weighed, you know, 900 kilograms, maybe 1,000, but no more than that. And you could still fit 4 people, you know. And that's even though back then, you know, they were all made from steel, and today even the Golf has like aluminium hoods and blah blah and stuff like that. Golf now is about 1,300 kilograms, yeah. Okay, but if you opt for a few extras, it's quickly at over 1,400, you know. And the GTI is heavier still because it's got a bigger engine than the average, than the base Golf. 559, really not bad at all, but not quite on the level of the Armor Business Coupe. Next up, well, this is my reference car. Next up is the Competition Rally by Random 41, And this car made a really good first impression on me when I was trying it off camera. Cars now are bigger, yeah, that is true. Cars now are bigger, definitely, but even so, I think they shouldn't be this heavy, you know. Even if you compare like a Volkswagen Polo from today, right, which is about the same size as like a Mark II Golf, then the Mark II Golf is still lighter because of all the electronics. By the way, this car, if I didn't mention, has 146 horsepower, and the engine, the torque curve on this engine, I think was in my opinion the best of all the engines. It's got a very nice torque curve. And that shows here. We're kind of flying here. And again, I was only able to stay in second gear there and maintain good speed because this has good torque. I can make use of the torque there. I'm gonna go into first for this one though. You saw me in another car not too long ago trying to go through that same corner in second, and it would just basically stall out. I had to downshift mid-corner and lost a lot of time that way. This just kind of pulls through. Whoa, whoa, a little bit loose there. Gotta remember though, we have no traction control, yeah, no ABS. I think this is the come on. Sure, it's got a great torque curve, but it's still a 1.6, so you can't go up in third gear there. That was a little bit stupid of me. Yeah, I know that your name is random 41 on Discord. I don't know. This is the thing. I never know which name to address people by. You know, their Discord name or their Twitch name. So on my spreadsheet where I have all the information I need, I just keep the Discord names because that's the names under which the cars were submitted, you know. The way this just picks up out of a corner, I think is pretty damn good. Not only is the torque good, but also the throttle response. It kind of just hooks up and goes. Where on a lot of cars, including some cars that I've built in this sort of time period, you kind of gotta wait for the torque to and the power to arrive. And then it starts going, but with this, that's not the case. Suspension is well set up too, if I didn't mention that before. But I think you may have figured that out by now, by how cleanly this car takes these corners. Careful through here. A little bit too slow even into the corner, I'm sorry for that. But I think we're still on the way towards a very good time here. ...170 kilometers an hour here. And 546. I believe that's the new #1 spot. Yes, it is. It did beat the Armor Motors Business Coupe by 5 seconds. Very, very good. Next up we have the Falcon Challenge Coupe. And this one was made by Logoris, and this has 150 horsepower. I don't remember all of the stats, but what I do remember about this one is that it has, despite being front-engined, it actually has a weight distribution that's more rear biased. So I think it's like 48% front, 52% rear. So that's going to make this pretty interesting. It's also got too long gearing in first gear. You got a stupid arrow number 2000. I don't know. Sorry, I've never seen that before. With this car, I kind of just treat first gear like I would second gear in most cars. So I take first gear through these corners. Yeah, Twitch would have problems these days, wouldn't it? With everyone being forced to stay at home. I mean, if you're a gamer, what else are you? I mean, you would stay at home anyway, but you get the idea. Even more so than before. You're probably gonna, you know, watch YouTube, watch Twitch, watch Netflix, stuff like that. This is a slidey boy, let me tell you. More so than average, maybe? That was good though. Through that hairpin it felt really good. It is agile, but it is pretty slidey, this one. First gear peaks out at 84 kilometers an hour, so that's why I didn't shift earlier. So sorry for the sounds. That's the thing though, this car is not heavy at all. I think it's like 920 kilograms or so. Or actually, is it even 900 kilograms? It might be below that. But still, the weight distribution is more rear biased, and so that makes it a little bit interesting on ice. Let me tell you. Okay, that was scary. Engine braking here. Now I think we get into the part where this car might start to shine a little bit. That was quick through there. I do have a feeling that this is probably one of the best cars in the field for tarmac. Off-road, I'm not so sure. 926. Whoa, okay. Scary. Whoa. That was actually the car sliding off the road, and I didn't want to counter steer too much because I didn't want to spin. Hi Traffic, how's it going? Okay, we're already past the time of the fastest cars, but where can this car place? Okay, so we're currently in third. It's currently in third place with that. Out of 5 cars so far, but we still have 6 more cars to go. Next up is the Helpin Scorpion B4 Rally, and this was made by Animated Gaming. Yeah, I'm doing fine as well. I'm happy to be back, and I'm happy to see that you guys are enjoying the stream as well. Another boxer. Most people actually chose the boxer engine over the inline-4 engine. Whoa, this feels very floaty. This is extremely soft. Maybe too soft. Yeah, too soft. But we'll still try our best. Soft? It being this soft might actually be good for off-road. You just arrived. Don't worry, your car has not gone yet. This is the 6th out of 11 cars. Oh, avoided the rock. Yeah, that was indeed pretty damn close. I don't think this car is... Like, this is not my favorite to drive so far. It is kind of good on these off-road corners though. Like, on that uphill section just a few seconds ago, I was able to kind of just slowly transition it from one corner to the next and kind of maintain the speed, which feels weird and looks weird, but is actually not that slow. I think this is front engine. Pretty sure it's front engine based on how it drives. It is extremely soft though. So it is actually rear engine, okay, yep. And now on the ice it does kind of show. Yep. This is gonna be the... This is gonna be the really difficult part for pretty much any rear-engine car, is the ice. Please don't spin. Oh, thank you. Has someone tried mid-engine? I don't know. Oh, shit. I don't know if any of these cars even have the option of being mid-engine. Oh yeah, actually, some of them do. I think even this body, for example. Oh! Shoot! That was what I was gonna say, though. The brake balance does need work on this one. Oh, come on. Now the car is harder to drive because it's already got a little bit of damage. But we're gonna pull through. If you think that all cars in 1957 arrived at the finish line unscathed, you must be mad. So we're gonna keep it going here. I don't think I broke the engine or the front suspension. It doesn't feel any different from when we started in that regard, so... Only a flesh wound, yeah. I think this car is gonna lose time in this section right now though, in these corners that you can normally take at relatively high speeds with these other cars, but here I gotta slow down more. Because it's got very skinny front tires and because it's so soft. Oh. Come on. It just... come on. 6:32. Unfortunately, that is the slowest time so far. This, by the way, was another car that I made. And yeah, but um, yeah. So the slowest so far, but next up is gonna be the HOS Vilna by Hugo Oyon. I hope my pronunciation is somewhat correct there. Did I get a submission by Kireva? Yes, I did. I did in fact get 2 submissions by him, but only the first one counts. So bad luck to him there. Oh, by the way, do you want me to drive with the diff on or off? So locked or open? What do you want? Okay, right. And this car makes 125 horsepower. And by the way, just as a little reminder here, this is the first season in this series. So we're gonna be... so the next season is gonna take place at some point in the 60s. Still gonna choose a... still gonna have to choose a year and make a rule set and blah 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 blah, but this is only the first event, I still got time. But we are eventually gonna make it into the 70s, which was a pretty cool era for rallying, I think. And then, of course, we're gonna get into the 80s and into Group B, where I do think it would be fun to have multiple Group B seasons, because the Group B cars did actually change over time quite a bit. And of course, they're just massively fun as a whole. So this car, for example, makes 125 horsepower. Imagine in the Group B times, we're gonna be seeing, you know, 500 plus horsepower and all-wheel drive cooking it up this hill. It's gonna be incredible. So, of course, if you're not yet following this channel, for the people on YouTube that are going to be watching this on YouTube, if you're not yet subscribed, do subscribe so you can see future episodes of this series, because we're only getting started here. Come on now. No torque. Will he go into the 80s and 90s? Yes. But I'm gonna probably stop it in the 90s at some point. Because I feel like, especially these days, it's kind of boring because all cars are pretty much the same, because you have very strict regulations. You know, you can only use a 1.6 liter 4-cylinder engine. It can only make 300 horsepower. You're not allowed to use, you know, VVL, only 4 valves per cylinder. So not only, and of course you have a minimum weight of 1200 kilograms. You can't use certain materials. So every car is gonna make 300 horsepower and weigh 1200 kilograms pretty much on the dot. So all cars are gonna be pretty much the same, and they're all gonna be all-wheel drive. The only difference these days is gonna be the drivers, and we can't really make up for. I can't really simulate a challenge like that, because you know it's always gonna be the same driver. It's always gonna be me. Oh, steady, steady. It's okay. Didn't damage anything there. We're still good. I'm gonna read your suggestion in a second once we hit the straight again. It's fine. No damage there. Maybe I have less strict regulations for the sake of the challenge. See, I could do that in like a separate series, but for this particular series, I was like, okay, I'm inspired by a real world race series, and I wanna kind of bring across that feeling of what it must have been like back then. And obviously 2020 is not back then, it's right now, for one, but also I feel like it's just fun because we can experiment. Like, how many of you guys have built a 1957 rally car before? Be honest. I haven't before this challenge, let me tell you. So it's kind of outside of what most people have done before, I think. And this car, unfortunately, not that fast. 616. Yeah, the regulations for this were fairly relaxed. Yes, exactly, as they were back then. You know, as I said in the video, and as I said in the video, it was pretty much run what you brung. So if you had a 10-year-old family sedan and you wanted to enter, you could, you know. And by the way, real quick, I'm gonna take a quick drink before we get into this car. So 1 second. Okay, so this is the, hang on, I forgot its name. This is the LLMC Type 64.5. So this is made by Low Life Max Camper, and it has 110 horsepower and is very, very light. It's also rear-engined, and I can tell you this car is difficult to drive. It's quick. I think it's the quickest in a straight line because it's also the lightest. But I gotta brake early here. There it understeers, then all of a sudden it kinda oversteers off throttle, it snaps oversteers. It snap oversteers. Worse than an MR2. I'm really trying to keep it together here. I'm doing my best, okay? I'm sorry. If I spin out or if I crash and don't finish, I'm sorry. I'm really trying here. Then again, 110 horsepower rear-engined Boxer 4. That's pretty much the Porsche 356 from the Porsche 356 that they raced in rallying back then and crashed, obviously, but a lot. But I mean, they did do fairly well too on like the better drivers. But what I'm saying is, this not only is this body obviously a 356, and also the engine is very similar. Like, this is effectively a Porsche 356 that we have here, just with a somewhat different looking rear end. It does appear to be rather quick though. I think the 356 in real life was a little bit heavier than this though, wasn't it? It was not a heavy car by any means, but this is like 720 kilograms or something. We're good. Now for the part that I'm a little bit scared of. That's the long straight here with the fast bend, because this car is very likely to try and rotate on me there, and I'm gonna try to send it, but it's actually 680 kilograms. I'm gonna send it. Okay. Did very slightly lift there, but brake very early because I'm scared. Okay, we're good. This is gonna be scary though. You can see how little throttle I'm using in the bottom left corner. Come on. Almost done with the hard part. The hardest part anyway. No part in this car is really easy, let me tell you. It's actually 680 kilograms, this one. Oh yeah, this part is also pretty difficult in this one, as it has a lot of fast transitions, and remember, it's rear engine, so it's gonna swing back around, potentially. Didn't do it there. Oh. Oh, the engine went off. I'm sorry for that, I didn't... That's a little unlucky that the engine went off there. But you gotta give me credit here for trying, okay? This car is very difficult to drive quickly. Are you in lockdown? No. I'm not in lockdown per se. We are only allowed to do necessary shopping, like groceries. This does... Oh my god, this oversteers on braking. It's done that the whole time, of course. So I should be aware of it by now. But also it does get worse as the brakes get hotter, so... This being said, I think this might still definitely not come last. I think we've had slower cars. we're actually maxing this thing out. 181 kilometers an hour. And sideways across the line because it kind of started spinning again. Probably isn't impossible to drive because of the wing. Like the wing does nothing, let me tell you. Or at least it doesn't seem to be anything. And of course, the wing might only help on the long straights, like we were near the end here. But you know, most of the time we're not going that fast. The wing isn't doing anything. You should run cars at least 2 times so you can adjust your driving and have a clean run. I've driven all of these cars off camera today and yesterday. So I know how each car drives, and let me tell you, I haven't been able to finish a single lap in this particular car that we just drove before right now. So it is very difficult, very difficult to drive. This the Maka by Travic or Mecha Type 1R, sorry. It's got 100 horsepower, although Mokka would also fit with this color. So, I'm sorry, said the wrong name. But it is the Mecha. 100 horsepower. And Travic has actually won a few community challenges in the past, so his cars in the past have always handled really well. Let's see how this one. Let's see how this does. Nice styling, yeah. It does look good. You couldn't finish a run in yours. Well, your car was the best yet. But we do have other tracks coming up next week, of course. So the winner of this stage might maybe not be also the winner. That's just a drift tap, it's good. So the winner of today might not necessarily be the winner overall, because there's 2 more stages coming up. And Utah, for example, is a very different course from here, and so is the Italy mixed hill climb as well. Nice through there. But we're lacking a little bit on horsepower with this one. Italy is hard, yeah. I can't imagine driving your car on Italy low life max camber. Yeah, but I have to do it next week, so yeah, I'm gonna. Well, I'm not gonna give any particular car more practice than any other, because it would probably be unfair. But I am gonna do more practice runs on both tracks that are gonna be coming up next week. Not gonna do it on stream today. I'm gonna do it off camera so I'm prepared. I have obviously done a few practice runs in my own cars. Sorry. Yeah, was just a little bit. Was just a little bit hairy there. Whoa. So yeah, I've driven Italy quite a number of times in my own cars. We're fine. But of course, all of these cars are different. Not only from each other, but also from mine. Although this is somewhat similar to the reference kind of large four-door sedan that I made. This uses a different body, I think. Or if it doesn't, it has very different morphing on the body. And it makes about the same horsepower. My car, I think, has 105. If memory serves. No DNF, please. No, no, no. Well, oh, with your car in Italy, I think. You mean. I can't guarantee. You hit 200 in your dad's Touran. I relied on handling instead of HP. Horsepower, yeah. Come on. We're good. Try to take as much speed out of the corner. A 1.9 liter, 105 horsepower Touran was able to hit 200 kilometers an hour. How long did it take you to get there? Stats say max speed is 187. Quite long, I can imagine. But yeah, but also the speedo is probably not 100% accurate, so the Vmax might still be 187 and the speedo just showed a higher number. That's how it is in most cars anyway. But yeah, 617 for the Mecha. Next up we have some more cars. We have the Model 8 Trim 8 by Kireva. By the way, this was his first submission, and this is only his only submission that I accept, because obviously, as I said in the rules video, only one car per player. Your first entry counts as long as it doesn't break any rules, and this doesn't. So he did send a second version of the car later, but I did not accept it because it would have been unfair. Everybody else only got one shot as well. So this makes 164 horsepower, by the way. Does this thing have brakes? I mean, I know it's 1957 and we're on drum brakes, but... And by the way, this only weighs like 805 kilograms, I think, if I remember correctly. So it is a light car, but despite the big power, it doesn't feel particularly fast. And it doesn't brake very well either, so... Okay, so we just kind of went through that tree. This is, like, I'm telling you, going with a pickup body here was the wrong choice, because the bed is shaking around, as you can hopefully tell on the stream as well, and that completely kind of makes the car incredibly nervous and unstable. And that is why I'm struggling with this car. The body is just not rigid enough. Because we're okay. Now I'm gonna. I'm gonna restart here. But anyway, where a normal car would have like the B pillar and like the trunk, this car basically just has a big hole. Yeah, and it doesn't have brakes. He knows how to make a powerful engine, let me tell you. This is the most powerful engine in the competition. It makes 164 horsepower. It's only a shame that this car can't really benefit from this engine. By the way, this engine does also have quite a bit of stress on the internal components, because it revs very high, as you can see, and here. And while I can't really simulate the engine breaking down, unless I deliberately drive the car, you know, nose first into a big rock like that, I can't really simulate the engine failing. But of course, back then engines failed during a rally. It's, you know what, it's just how it was. Understeer there. Last car had small brakes and minus 15. Yeah. I don't think this one had that. No, I don't think that also applied to this. But that would of course explain why it doesn't like braking. Okay, so we spun. But still, yeah, despite having the most powerful engine in the competition and one of the lowest weights, not the lowest weight, but one of the lowest, this just goes to show you that power to weight is not everything, and this just shows why you shouldn't choose a truck body. I mean, if it wasn't obvious before, don't choose a truck body for a rally car. What's your favorite car until now? I think the Armor Motors car was very good, and also the competition by oh yeah, we're still good. And also the competition rally by Lada Fan, aka Random 41. Those two are my favorites so far. Now the car pulls to the right, which is good if you want to go right, but Yeah, there it also pulled towards the right. In terms of looks, it's the Armor Business Coupe, the red and black two-tone car that we had pretty early on in the stream. And I also really like the Falcon Coupe, the one that used the Shelby Cobra body. Yeah, if this car wasn't undrivable before, it is now. I think this is going to be one of the slowest cars, despite making the most horsepower. How often do you see that? That the car with the most horsepower is actually the slowest. No, this is not the last car. I think we have one more. Maybe two more? How do you submit your car? You when you're in automation, you select your car from the sandbox, from the list. Click export or save to export. Then the car will be saved in a specific folder that it tells you on screen, and then you drag and drop that file into the community challenge files tab on my Discord. That's how you submit. So a 614, yeah, it's kind of in the middle somewhere. Also, this car tops out at 144 kilometers an hour, even when the front suspension isn't damaged like it was there. So we have one more. That's the Trilobite Rally, which is by Discord user Driver29, 2900. And it is rear engine and makes 123 horsepower. This has very short gearing, and I think therefore it has a lower top speed than the last car. I think it's 138 on this one. You can see that this car is very soft because the nose bends down quite a lot under braking. But that might not be so bad here. Love that rear end. Yeah, it is. It is quite nice. It sort of has... Like if you imagine that the brake and indicator lights were just regular headlights, this could basically be an alpha front end with that grille. It is an inline 4. Did anybody go for a boxer? Yeah, actually a lot of people. Here it understeers. Thank you, Minecart Golden, for following. I hope you're enjoying the stream. Thank you, Genji, for following. Come on now. Power, power, power. So far, this really isn't that bad. But here it's gonna struggle a little bit. Yeah. We're maxed out. We don't have a 5th gear, so this is all it's got. Wow, good brakes. I think this is the only car where I was surprised at how good I felt the brakes were. So maybe there's something that driver 2900 did better than everybody else on the brake tuning. I don't know. Maybe we got the brake balance just right. You weren't going that fast. Okay, true, but even other cars weren't going that much faster than 138 right there either. I mean, the most was like 145 or so, so it's comparable. This feels good. It's nimble, and I think it's rear-engined. Pretty sure it's rear-engined, but it doesn't feel rear-engined, so it doesn't feel like it's gonna swing around like a pendulum at any given opportunity. See how close I got to the barrier there? That was confidence. That was me going into the corner too fast. Yeah, I don't want to crash. And of course, with these cars, they don't have ABS, and also more importantly, the part that follows there is on ice. So I definitely want to brake before I start going on ice. Whoa. That's weird. It's apparently extremely soft. I mean, I've mentioned that before. But it's apparently so soft that it almost rolled over right there. I'm glad I still caught it, because otherwise I could have done this lap over again. Yeah, now I can't shift into a 5th gear. So this is where it's gonna lose time. It's just a shame, because it could have maybe challenged the top spots if it weren't... If it were a little bit faster in a straight line. Yeah, it's definitely losing some time here, and it will not take the win, but it will still finish quite well. Okay, right. So, first place is gonna go to the competition rally by Random41, aka LadaFan01. So, I got my spreadsheet on my second monitor. Fastest rear engine? Yes. Yes. So, first place, that means 10 points. Second place is the Armor Business Coupe. So this will get 9 points. Third place now is the Trilobite Rally. So this is gonna get 8 points. Fourth place is the Falcon Challenge Coupe. So this is gonna get 7 points. Next up we have the BAC Pike Rally. So 5th place, 6 points. Then there's quite a big gap of 12 seconds to the LLMC Type 64.5. Not last. In fact, you're 6th, so you're gonna get 5 points. Then we have the Model 8 Trim 8 with the most powerful engine. It only came 7th. There it is, right there. Sorry, I'm kind of multitasking on my second monitor here. Then, behind the Model 8 Trim 8, we have, let's see. There it is, and the HOS Vilna 1.6 RS. So this is in 8th place. 3 points. Then behind the Vilna we have the Mecha Type 1R. So this is in 9th place. 2 points. Then we have the R3.0. Just gonna be 10th and get 1 point, and then the Halpin Scorpion Rally is 11th with 0 points, unfortunately. Okay. Yeah, I'm in the top 10. Do you guys want to see do you guys want to see one of my own cars to sort of finish up this this challenge? I'm gonna go with the Marina Spark 1.6 Rally. Do you want to see that? Okay, right. Okay, so this is a car that I've built. It is somewhat inspired by the Triumph TR3. As you can probably tell by that front end. It's got a 1.6 liter. So this, by the way, also complies to all of the rules of this competition. So it could have definitely gone, you know, a lot more powerful in this. But this is a 1.6 liter, 120 horsepower. It did at one point make 135, but I felt it was a little too much for what the car can handle. So it is very high up as well as far as the suspension goes. As ride height, I mean. And by the way, I'm definitely not gonna come first compared to all of you guys. So don't expect my car to be the fastest, is what I'm saying. If it looks like I'm driving this better than the other cars, it's because, you know, I made this car. I'm used to it. I tuned its suspension and everything, so if anyone's gonna drive this car somewhat well, it's probably gonna be me. But then again, I think I did a pretty good job on some of the other cars too, with my driving. I haven't been perfect, but I've given it my best shot with all of them, so. so the results are definitely valid. Was looking over at chat. It's fine, it was just a little drift tap. You're faster than I was with it, so I can't complain. Okay, yeah, fair enough. Again, braking very early here, because I definitely don't wanna. I wanna be done braking before I get on ice, because if you brake on ice, oh boy, with no ABS, no traction control, you're on your own, basically. This is... So on ice, I try to use mostly engine braking, although for this corner, of course, I do need to brake a little bit. Whoa, okay. Don't spin. Good. Still going. Did try to break loose there. Still managed to avoid an accident that could have ended quite badly. Okay, here we go. Very nice through that corner and through that as well. It is very planted on tarmac. Can take a lot of speed through here because this is basically the only car today that doesn't understeer there to an extent. In fact, I could have gone through here quite a bit faster. So I don't know, that's just a difference with my suspension tuning, I suppose. It may not have paid off off-road, but it has paid off here. Yeah, I'm definitely not among the top spots, but 6:01. So this would have put me in first, second, third, fourth, fifth place. Sixth place, sorry, sixth. Okay, yeah. Yeah, I mean, again, sixth. I was not. I was not expecting this to be the fastest. But anyway, that's it for today. The first round is over. Congratulations to Random41 aka Lada Fan for taking first place here. But we are gonna be back with race 2 and 3 next week. So race 2 is gonna be on Saturday at 6 p.m. Central European Standard Time, and then at the same time the next day, so next Sunday at 6 p.m. There's gonna be the third and final race of the 1957 season. If you enjoyed, please make sure to follow me on Twitch so you don't miss the next stream. Also subscribe to my YouTube channel for more content like this if you liked it. Thanks for watching, and I hope to see you again soon. Have a good one. See you next time. Bye bye.